Alright, g'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you can pick up my voice quite clearly. So, what you see behind me is a very large Radiata or Monterey pine. Now, this is the first pine that I work on in my collection during decandling. I do treat it like a black pine. I know some people don't, but I've been treating it like a black, where I decandle the tree and remove all the candles. Now that's how I've been treating it. It's starting to really start to get, if you know what Radiata Pine looks like, it's quite long and leggy in its needles. Now I've just slowly, over the years I've started to see this reduce in candle and needle size. Needles are usually quite very long, extremely long. This is actually getting to a point where it's actually quite nice and starting to get more almost the same, except for the top. The top is always going to be strong and heavy. So we need to control that. But I treat this like a black pine. I come in and decandle it all. Now, again, I always say I'm not an expert. I'm just a hobbyist in bonsai. So please listen to the professionals and experts and bonsai artists. I just want to show you what I do and how I treat it, and what I mean by decandling in December. So it's start of December now, or getting close to mid-December. And I always start on the Radiata Pine for me, just because I want to give it as much time as it can to develop all the new buds, or new buds for in autumn, so you can select. So I just find that the Radiata needs a little bit more time to do that than the black pines. So that's one thing I've seen. So that's why I start with this one first and give it more time to develop those buds. So the other thing I try and do is I try and ensure that each branch has the same amount of needles. That's the hard bit. I think decandling is the easy bit. Trying to make sure, trying to get close each branch to make sure they have the same amount of needles is very time consuming. I find that the hardest piece of work. If you're new and all you need to really concentrate on is, I think, especially if you're new, is just making sure you decandle the tree. So that's more important. The only what I find is if you don't needle pluck and evenly, you might just get, what you get is different size candles or buds developing, and it kind of, you're not in the right proportion of the candles that develop. That's just what I've seen. I can't explain it scientifically or anything like that. It's just that's what I see. But what happens over time is the more and more buds you create and new candles you create. So you go, what we do is we cut this off, and at that base we'll get multiple buds in autumn, and then you select down to two, and that's the two you keep over winter, and in spring they develop, and then you do the same thing, cut those, and then they develop too, and then that continues. So, and the more you do of that, the more buds you're going to have. And what happens eventually with more buds, they're actually smaller. They become smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's how I think the pines develop their buds. I mean, it sounds logical to me, and I can't explain it any other way, but it's just what I've seen. So the more buds you have, obviously the tree's trying to feed more and more buds, so it's got less and less energy to put to all those buds, so those buds are all smaller, all those candles are all smaller. So that's how I see it. It just works it really works the same as even deciduous trees, where more branches means more ramification, means smaller leaves. So I think the same principle applies no matter what, and I try and think of it as simply as that without overcomplicating it. So I just coming back to this tree, sorry, I'll just go through. I start at the top, only because it makes such a mess. Like if I start down here, and then all the candles I'm cutting off and the needles I'm plucking all fall under here, I just find it easier to clean up. Pretty much, that's pretty much what I do. Just it's easier to clean up. But what I'll do is I'll come in and show you what I mean by candle pruning now, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so I'll just come in and show you some of this tree. I know the sun's glaring a little bit, but you can see some areas the candles are really long. So you can see that. So you can see what I mean by that. And then at the top, they're quite long as well. But down the bottom, they're a bit more smaller. It's mainly because the top has got so much energy and it's really kicking along. The lower ones don't seem to grow as fast and regularly or as much, but they're still growing. Lots of nice candles on there. So I just want to try and show you, for example, I'll try and show you something that you can see clearly. Now it's really hard. Hang on. I really need to try and... It's hard doing this with one hand. Let's see if you guys can see this guy. See this? See this candle? Now you can see here, hopefully you can see in the camera. I've just got a lot of sun, so apologies. But you can see these little ones here. These are the needles from last year. And this is the candle that formed here. So I don't know how this is going to look in the camera, but I'm going to try cut off that. Let me try it right at the base. I should go a little bit more, but you know what I'm saying. It's hard to do with one hand. But you cut it off pretty much right at the base. Have I got that? I can't see. It's so glary. Sorry about this. But anyway, there. You can probably see that. Let me try another one. So this guy, same thing. Let's try and get the camera focused. I might go the other side. And again, take it out. Let me try the other side, see if it's a better view, because I couldn't see anything. Let's try. Oh, there's a good one here. Let's try this one. Not too glary. So again, where is it? Here you go. You see this long candle, very long. So very long candle. And I go right to the base. Now you can see probably the slightly darker needles are there. So I'll leave them alone. And I come in. I usually do two hands, but it's hard to do with one. And take the whole candle out. So you're left with a cut like that. You see that cut? Now that cut, from there you'll get multiple buds. Like 5, 3, 5, I don't know. You get lots sometimes. Sometimes you get 2, great. But that's pretty much what happens. So that's what I'm doing there. Again, let's see if I can show you on this one. Now do it throughout the whole tree. This is a good one because you can see the old. You want to keep them. Take, let me see. Bang. Take that off. And so from that cut, where are we? From that cut, see that cut there? See that cut there? Oh. You'll get multiple buds. So I cut right back the whole candle. So I just pretty much go throughout the whole tree. Look, another candle. Oh. Gone. Okay, so you keep doing that, and you get not much left, but you'll get multiple buds. So from that one, you get 2. Remember, there's only 1 before. Then you actually get 2. And then keeps going, 2. So that's 1 cut there, means 2 buds there in the future. All right, let me see if I can, I hope that explains it well. Here's a nice big one. Let's see, look at that, look, so big. But again, same thing, go right in. Where it starts pretty much. Oh, missed it. Where it starts, off it comes. You see that there. Okay, you can actually go a bit more. Don't have to be so accurate, but take it right off. And then there's another little one in the. I even cut the little ones. It's all gone. Where is he? Can you see? I see that little one there. Same thing. So that's off. So this section, I've pretty much completed this branch. And where is it? There we go. I've completed this branch. Now I haven't needle plucked, and that's the tricky bit. So you see, for example, there's here. It's hard to do. I'm going to struggle to do needle plucking with one hand. So you can probably see here lots of needles. So I pretty much just try and even it out, or try and take the ones underneath off, or in between. You just want to try and have not so much. Like, I find it hard to count. You got to have how many 5 pairs or whatever, 10 pairs and stuff. I find it very hard to count, but I just look visually. Oh, that looks all right. That looks about the same as that. Keep moving. Oh, let's go here. Need to pluck some of those off. Always try and get rid of the yucky dead ones off as well. You don't want none of those. So you just slowly needle pluck. Try and even it out. This one needs a bit more work. It's very hard with one hand, and I'm holding the camera with the other one. Sorry, people. But I just try and visually see rather than count. I mean, I don't have the time to count, to be honest. If I had all the time in the world, yep, no worries. I'll be making sure each one is perfectly, yeah, I can do that. But no, I just don't have that time. So try and make sure everything's evenly balanced. Does that make sense? I know it's not the perfect job, and as I said, this is the hardest. I find this is the hardest bit, trying to balance out all the. So you can see that's a bit more nice and even. I know they're a bit long. You can cut those needles if you really wanted to, but I just leave it, let it develop. So hopefully that shows you a little bit of what I mean by decandling and then needle plucking. So it kind of looks about the same. Like I haven't got, as I said, I don't have the time to go in and count every single pair and make sure that pair is the same as that pair. It's just don't have the time. Yeah, as I said, if I had all day, every day working on trees, different story. So, but at least you can do that. Everyone I think can do at least that job. Getting their candle prune, you saw that, it's quite easy and it's not that hard. But you only do this if your tree's in refinement. So this tree's in refinement, meaning all I'm doing is developing the smaller and smaller candles and more ramification. This is actually, I didn't even talk about the tree. This is a very, very nice old tree, Radiata Pine. So yeah, I'm just going to put the camera back now and go through some more. But again, it's just a simple process. This is how fast I usually go. I go, yep, bang, 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 and usually I got two hands, bang, 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 and I'll do a branch and then I'll come back. What I do then is I just make sure there's the same amount of candles on each of that branch. So you work pretty quickly. Again, two hands is much easier than one. So I think I've just done this one here, just really done that. Now I'll just go back and needle pluck it all and say hello to all the spiders. All nice inside there, all good. I don't mind them. They'll kill all the bad bugs for me. But yeah, that's how fast you just go bang, 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 all the way through. And I'll show you I'll put the camera back and I'll just do a quick time lapse of me cutting through the whole tree. And we'll see what the result looks like before and after. Thanks, guys. Actually, so I finished my decandling. I didn't do the video time lapse all the way just because it would have taken way too long. That was a good hour's work at least, just to decandle and give a rough needle pluck. Unfortunately, you can't see the tree very well with the sun shining like that, so I'll come back here later and do another video just to show you the clarity of the tree, show you close up of that nice base and trunk, and show you a bit more features of the tree. Yeah, it's a bit too bright, but that's all the candles being removed. Piled them up in a stash along with some weeds. But yeah, I pretty much went through it. I've probably missed a few little areas which I'm going to go back through and have a look again, but let me come back when the sun isn't as bright and you can see a bit more features of the tree. So yeah, I can't really show you that nice trunk in there. It doesn't do it justice at the moment, but this gives you an idea. So let me come back later when it's a bit less bright and you can see a bit more of the tree. Okay. Alright guys, so the sun's gone down and you can see this Radiata Pine in a much better light. I'll probably come down to eye level so you can actually see the kind of layers that I've built over the years. Just layering. You see it's pretty much three-dimensional. So you saw before how long everything was. Oh, see, I've missed one. So when the sun goes down I can actually see it better. But anyway, so there you go guys. That's what the Radiata Pine looks like. It's a nice tall tree. Maybe the top needs a little bit more thinning, or a few layers need to be added in this bit of area here that is a bit lacking, but it's okay. It's all nice. There you go. That's what it looks like in better light. You see how it's a bit hairy and unruly? It's just the Radiata Pine behaviour, unfortunately. It takes time to get it under control, and obviously I'm finding a lot better now with more and more buds. So it's reducing that kind of look, which is good. So yeah, it just takes time, but it's all worth it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video of my Radiata Pine and how I decandle it. I treat it the same as the black pine. It seems to work for me, but I have to do it early-ish in December, in summer. So, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Subscribe if you haven't to the channel already, and I'll see you guys soon.